gotta race that one day, Celso. First of all, let's welcome the team with Precision Racing LA, Celso Neto and Ryan Eversley. Ryan, what a team here. Ryan, you've been at this for over 2 decades in IMSA. Take us through that 2-decade-long journey coming here this weekend for the Chevrolet Grand Prix.
Well, I'm only 21 years old, so the first year here was pretty rough, you know, because I couldn't really walk.
Child prodigy.
Yeah, but I was able to drive, you know, a P2 car, and it was fine. So, coming up here to race in Canada, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, in the southern states, and first time coming here as a mechanic back in 2001. I didn't know anything about Canada or racing up here, and the biggest thing I learned right away was the fan embracement is unbelievable. You know, people really come out of the woodwork here to really support everything that races in this country. And so I got to go to Three Rivers, Montreal, and obviously here in Mosport and Canadian Tire Motorsports Park now. But it's just a real honor to be able to race in front of so many people that really care about the sport. You know, this is great. But not only is the fan turnout awesome, the track itself is super daunting, high speed, and it does not suffer fools. And that is something that is harder and harder to find these days in motorsports. So a track that you can go to where it really, if you make a mistake, you pay the price, is something that pros look for, and this place has that in spades.
What have you told Celso here about this track? I understand he's been trying to get as much time on the simulator, which is good, but there's nothing like getting out on the real deal.
Well, the off areas, the safety, and then just all the basic stuff, all the nice stuff around the paddock, you know, and things like that. So the game he was watching, he sent me the clip, and I was like, oh, there's way more runoff there now. You can be a little bit braver coming out of turn 2. But basically, the one thing I noticed that the game doesn't really show is some of the bumps that you guys get from the weather up here, the frost bumps or whatever over the winter. And again, the track does a great job of trying to keep it as smooth as possible. But turn 3, if you're not on the right line there, it'll send you for a ride on the exit, and it's pretty sketchy. So, but he hadn't been to a couple of tracks already on the schedule this year. Celso's in his rookie year of TCR with us in the IMSA series, and he has been on the front row, I think, more than anybody. Definitely the fastest Audi driver in the starting parts of the races, which for me makes my life super easy. So can't say enough about that. And the reason he won the IMSA Diversity Award is because he doesn't have not just the track stuff sorted out, but off track he's phenomenal with sponsors and fans. So I don't really have to tell him too much. We have data that he can look at and match, and he's coaching on his own. He just got back from Mid-Ohio where he's coaching the USF Junior Series, which is awesome because he's only 20 years old. So to have all that experience already at his age, he doesn't really need a lot from me other than just a little bit of guidance and like an occasional high five.
Yeah. There you go, the high five. Now, Ryan, you've been doing a lot of mentoring and coaching for many, many young drivers. Where does Celso stack up in terms of just the raw talent and the ability to take in and soak up that knowledge and experience?
We had a pretty emotional result at Watkins Glen. Do you remember what I said to you in the trailer?
Yeah, I do.
What did I say to you after the end of Watkins Glen?
That I'll be fine, I think, right?
You're going to be fine. The other thing I said, which meant more to me, apparently didn't land with you, was that I would drive with you for the next 10 years if I could. I was like, if I knew that I had 10 years left and you were available, I would sign right now to be teammates with you for the rest of my career because he's just unbelievable. And I'm not saying that because you asked her that he's standing here. Like, I'd probably find another way to answer the question if I didn't believe it. But no, he's literally the star, the future of the sport, and I keep saying it on all the interviews on TV because teams like Mike Shank Racing and Wayne Taylor should be calling this kid to get him in a prototype.
Well, Brazilian soccer and a few other things, but like many young drivers, their dad dragged them to the racetrack when they were just a kid, and that's where the seed of love and passion for motorsport got planted. Celso, where was that? What track do you recall that first car race somewhere in Brazil?
Yeah, so I moved at a young age to Orlando in Florida, United States. So I knew racing from my grandfather. He enjoyed it on an amateur level. My father as well in karting in Brazil. And we lived in Orlando when I was young, and he needed a birthday gift to get me when I was 5. And a friend of ours knew about a karting track that had just opened in Orlando. It was the first year, I believe, Orlando Kart Center. So they brought me down to check out go-kart to see if I'd be interested at all in it. And the first day there, I was crazy about it. We ended up buying the kart that day for me to just do it as a hobby, as a for-fun thing, you know, after school, on weekends. And it, you know, turned out to this, where I'm in Canada now racing across the world. So it really progressed from there, started racing professional karting. And then when I was around 13, I moved back to Brazil to pursue car racing there, and eventually here back to the U.S. now and in Canada.
And you did a lot of racing in Brazil, NASCAR Brazil, you did a bunch of sports car stuff. How does that translate into this TCR car you'll be racing this weekend?
Yeah, so interesting thing about my career is that I started first in the front-wheel drive car, which is what these TCR cars are. So it really gave me a big base. I started in the Brazilian touring car and the regional touring car level there. And those are 1.6-liter front-wheel drive cars, naturally aspirated. So it's very short wheelbase, small car, which really translates to a lot of aggressive driving. So you're always correcting the car. It's really tough to drive. And at first, it was a big challenge to get used to these manual cars. Didn't know how to drive a manual at all before I got into my first race. So it was really, jumping into the deep end with the pro guys there. But it taught me a lot. I learned a lot about racecraft, especially. So Brazil is, 40 cars on track, super aggressive drivers. So you see the ones that come race in IndyCar, Formula One, NASCAR, whatever it is. So it taught me a lot in that base. And then eventually did a lot of different things down there. So I raced in the Stock Car Light Series, which is, the V8 stock cars, one below the Pro Series. And they had the Brazilian Touring Car Championship, the National Championship. I was the youngest podium finisher in history there to this day. And then eventually as well, TCR South America, which is based on exactly the same spec as these cars here. And then as well as NASCAR Brazil, which is very different from what you guys see here. It's a mid-engine V6. So it's very different to what you see on the American NASCAR and everything else, but it's a very cool series as well. Super competitive, 25 cars within 1 second. So it was an awesome experience for sure.
Well, that's quite a race. You'll be driving that number 7 Audi. And of course, you've got your teammates, Megan and Ron Tomlinson. Just real quickly, last question, because we want to get you over there for the autograph session. What's been the exchange of information? What have they told you about the track for the weekend?
Very high speed. I think every driver I've talked to about it has said that. From the sim, you can see it for sure. A lot of bumps, a lot of elevation. Definitely a big challenge, but I think it's something that I really look forward to. I see a lot of tracks nowadays. They equalize the drivers a lot, right? So when you have tracks that you can make an advantage by taking some risk in some corner, positioning yourself a little bit better, being more patient, that type of thing, it rewards the drivers that have that precision. So I think it's something I look forward to, and hopefully have a good weekend here in Canada and enjoy the track in the weekend.
Well, we'll let you get over to the autograph table there. Your dad's out front here. That video is going to be up on social media very shortly.
For sure.
Thank you, Celso Neto and Ryan Eversley. All the best on the weekend, gentlemen, in the Audi.
Bom, galera, chegamos aqui hoje, primeiro dia na pista. Ontem teve o evento da INSC, que vocês conheceram lá, Race Fest, que chama, reunindo com os carros do campeonato na cidade aqui próxima, para os fãs conhecerem um pouco mais sobre a corrida esse fim de semana e promover a corrida. E agora chegamos aqui nos boxes, vamos ver a equipe lá, tudo pronto, tá esperando a gente. Vamos ter hoje agora o track walk, né, conhecer a pista. É a primeira vez aqui, então muito importante ver onde tem ondulações no asfalto, cada zebra, como é que é a área de escape aqui. Enfim, conhecer o máximo possível para amanhã, a gente ficar preparado para o treino e encurtar um pouco a fase de aprendizado do asfalto, da condição, do traçado, né? Mas é isso. A pista parece ser bem rápida, parece ser bem legal. Todo mundo que conhece, assim, fala que aqui é fora de série. Então vai ser bem interessante. E é isso. Tô animado.
Yeah, every single one of these have done it.
Walker bike only.
And this track specifically, there'll be fans throwing footballs, you know, so it's like...
What's going on here, man? Canadian Tire up there.
Track walk, galera. Estamos aqui na pista de motorsport, super de alta. Fiquei muito surpreso que falam que a pista aqui é muito arcaica comparado com as outras, de ter uma estrutura. Mas acaba que tá bem legal, a área de asfalto, muito recapeado, novo, então fiquei feliz com isso. A área de escape bem boa também, mas realmente é muito rápida, muro muito perto, então isso dá um medo na galera, mas é bom que para os pilotos conseguem tirar vantagem, quem tem mais, como é que fala, coragem, né? Quem tem mais precisão nas curvas de alta, então achei interessante. E é isso, estamos começando com o asfalto, a pista e tudo mais. Valeu! Let me show you, yeah, that's my videographer, teammate, everything built in.
You're going to be making this better for
Our engineer, Alex, team engineer. Our teammates, Ron and Megan.
Local heroes.
Local heroes from Canada.
Right.
Estamos aqui do Canadá, então correndo em casa pra eles essa etapa aqui. Olha que massa, cara, acampando aqui na pista. Uma verdadeira festa aqui, Toronto.
Tá quente? E essa técnica aí, essa técnica? Essa técnica para não queimar as orelhas?
Para esfriar um pouquinho.
Esfriar um pouquinho, né? Cadê seu carro?
Aqui alinhado já.
Alinhado?
Prova.
E agora, o próximo passo?
Um pouquinho nacional, agora o Fun Walk, né? Os pessoal estão conhecendo
Fun
os caras
walk.
perto.
Essa galera toda aqui é pra ver você.
É, gente. That's gonna be real pretty. Larga a prova.
Oh my god. Yeah. Let's do this, guys.
That's the winning dance. Woohoo! Let's go! Woohoo! Let's go, boy!
Agora vai ganhar.
Agora eu vou pisar tudo. Agora vai tudo. E aí,
Tudo certo?
estamos prontos agora pra corrida.
Rádio na mão?
2 horas, rádio aqui.
Vamos embora.
Rádio ali.
Vai segurando aí e vai fazendo as filmagens.
É reto ou dá a volta?
O piquenique.
Eu não sei se sai.
Pode virar ou não?
Olha essa caminhonete que top, ó.
Eu prefiro a postinha aqui, ó, pretinha.
Linda. Esse tá um som. Tem um banheirinho aqui, sauna, banheiro sauna.
Para onde?
Kiko. Ali, Kiko, para ali, Kiko, ali, ó. Ali passa, ali não?
as well or better than anyone else in the GS class. So yeah, I think this is where they want to be. This is the event that they've made, and they're going to sleep in it from this point out. If they hit here, they give up any advantage that they might have gained by taking that low. And I would say also for them that one yellow, and it takes any of the marginality out of the conversation. One yellow, and they are definitely good. So I would be surprised to see Westfall follow some of these other front runners in this sequence right here.
Caught a glimpse
glimpse of a little side-to-side contact about midway through the TCR pack. I think Celso Neto was one of the cars involved. I think it was a Brian Herta Autosport Hyundai as well. Just a puff of smoke as the bodywork and tires rubbed together, but it looked like both cars were able to continue on. But now, all eyes on this TCR battle because they have some GS traffic to contend with. And as we talked about, the front-running TCR cars are top 10 overall in terms of their pace here on the weekend.
Dean Baker for Baker Racing is the fastest car on the track, but we've had a couple of cars off the track at the bottom of the hill at Clayton Corner, and that is being looked at for track limits.
Look at how frantic it is. LP Montour there.
Almost ran over the top of Bryson Morris as he's trying to deal with that GS car directly in front of him. Celso Neto there, up to 4th in the Precision Racing LA machine. He's having a really strong run here on his debut here at this racetrack, doing an amazing job.
Right, Honda, but LP Montour got it done as the door was being closed by David Hampton. He just sort of got his nose in there and made sure that the door stayed open just enough to get through, and that's crucial in that battle at the front of TCR.
And there is Neto, Celso Neto in the Audi, talking with his co-driver Ryan Eversley earlier today. Ryan was hopeful of a good result here today. Ryan said that we go pretty good on fuel economy, should be able to do it on one stop if it's a relatively straightforward race.
It's Honda leading Audi, leading Hyundai as Bryson Morris has slipped back, to your point, into the clutches of Celso Neto, who's closed in here as of late and continues a strong run of form. He picked up a couple of spots in the early going and has been able to hold on to them ever since, as Powell just put a move on Preston Brown. That was for position.
Then there's 3 GS cars, then Bryson Morris, who was our pole sitter, with Celso Neto for Precision in the Audi in 4th. Harry Gottsacker, the championship leader, in 5th in the 98 Hyundai.
Machine kind of tucked it down to the inside of Vin Barletta there, but did a really nice job at not understeering into the side of him. It's really hard to control the front end. You come up and crest that hill there in Moss Corner, really easy to lose the front, so it's great discipline by Celso to recognize the dynamic that was going on, not let it evolve into a problem and some contact.
Just ahead of them, the Frank Depew-driven Rebel Rock Racing Aston Martin Vantage. Frank will want to stay on the lead lap of TCR, so he will try and keep ahead, the lead lap of GS, and want to keep ahead of this little gaggle of front-wheel drive machinery alongside them. They've got Vin Barletta to go through as well. He stays to the left-hand side in the yellow and blue Turner BMW as that horde of TCR front-wheel drive Hornets go through. "34 minutes to go."
There's the 7. That is the Precision Racing LA Audi of Celso Neto, the Brazilian who's had a really good opening stint. Let's hear from the man who's going to take over from him. He's with Brian.
Well, Precision Racing LA knows how to win races. Ryan Eversley, you know how to win races and championships. But I would think the word frustrating doesn't really describe this season for you guys. Another good, strong run here for you. You know the ups and downs of motorsports. How do you keep Celso on an even playing field? Just explaining to him, hey, this stuff's going to happen. We're doing what we need to do.
Well, Celso is Brazilian, which is part of how he won the IMSA Diversity Scholarship. And so emotions run pretty high in that part of the world. But his passion for the sport equals his emotions, and so it's been really nice to see a kid of that age be mature well beyond his years, but also take the lumps and keep trying every time. He's not giving up once, and running right now in between the championship leaders of the class, you know, so pace is pretty good. Never been here before. You've driven here before. This place is hair. I'm sure Cal has too, and you know, the place is really hard to learn, and he's doing a great job.
You've been very complimentary of him from the beginning, a pretty phenomenal young talent.
Yeah, it's rare that you meet a kid like this who doesn't have the entitlement and the ego and all that stuff, because he's got the talent, and that could be a pretty dangerous combination. So the fact that he's got a level head on his shoulders, really, really good to work with. A lot of fun to be around.
A little bit of redemption. Is that a podium finish or is that a win? Which would really kind of salve those wounds?
Dude, I'll take a top 5 right now, man. Like, it's been rough, but, you know, we started out really strong. We've had a lot of progress throughout the year. We've learned a ton about these cars, and I'm not saying we're thinking about next year already, but we're already learning so much that we're going to have a stronger and stronger program. So I just want to say I appreciate you coming down here. Probably took you a little bit over half the race because of Lee talking.
Well, it's Lee and Calvin together, so.
Well, yeah, well, Calvin's got the day off now. The dip is here, right?
Well, there you go. Where's the love, guys? They're looking for a podium finish, so you guys be nice to them when they get it.
Truth hurts, Brian. Truth hurts.
Well, it's good. They're headed towards the top 5 if they stay where they are.
Yeah, I think it's a great combination, I think, for Ryan Eversley when he gets teamed up with a young driver like that. I mean, Ryan's as fit as I've ever seen him. He's really been hitting the gym hard over the last 18 months or so. He's found a great home since he left the Honda camp and moved over to this Precision Racing LA team. And Mario Biondo has given him the tools, he's given him the resources to continue his racing. He's got him teamed up with a really fast young driver, and that makes Ryan step up his game as well in all aspects, not just behind the wheel. We know how much experience and speed he has, but he's ticking all of the other boxes as well in terms of his fitness and his mindset coming into these race weekends.
Ryan mentioned there in that interview with Brian about Celso being a recipient of the IMSA Diverse Driver Development Scholarship Program, which netted him more than $250,000 thanks to the assistance from IMSA to compete in a major series. Well, he's stepped up and he continues to.
Yeah, he really does. It's a wonderful program, great support from some of the partners within the IMSA organization. So hats off to everyone who's involved in putting that whole program together, and it's great to see a young driver like him taking advantage of it and putting in some great performances.
Hello to Marcus Miller, who's tuned in, watching and in Dublin in Ireland. Been really warm in Europe recently, about the same sort of temperature. 31 Celsius in the air, is 88 Fahrenheit. Robert Liddell, by the way, on his first flying lap in the Rebel Rock Racing Aston Martin Vantage, despite being full of fuel, has just reset the fastest lap of the GS race. And overall, a 1:23.626. He's in 27th, 14th position overall. And I reckon at the moment he is 5th of the... Oh no, check that. He is 3rd of the GS cars that has pitted. So keep an eye on that number, as the green flag pit stops, should they come, will elevate him through the TCR field. His problem now is he's going to catch up with the back of the TCR field pretty quickly. Stephen McAlee has just put in a 24.2 as well. That was the Autotechnic Racing BMW's fastest lap of the race. That's the white, black and gold car, white, navy blue and gold car. He's in 12th in GS at the moment, 22nd overall. They are off the lead lap, but barely. And of course, the leaders are yet to stop. They could get on the wrong side of a safety car. Hello to Alan Space and to Stephen Gardner. And they're saying hello to Marcus Miller. Marcus not at the track, but Stephen Gardner and Alan having a little mini collective meet up there at turn 5. Hands across the water kind of thing going on. Enjoy the rest of Super Saturday and hope you're sticking around for our Sunday extravaganza as well. Still an hour and 13 and a half minutes to go. 1 hour 13:22, 21:20, 19:18 to go. And the top 7 are still GS cars, and they still owe us their first pit stop. They're going long into this race. McCumbee McAleer Racing, next Cicero, number 13, front pole, leads by a decreased margin though now, Ryan. It's down to 1.5 seconds. That is almost halved. In fact, it has halved since we were last talking about it. And Paul Holton for Team TGM's only another 2.6 seconds further back. The top 3 within 4 seconds as we come round towards their pit stops.
Still super close, like you say, amongst that top 3, and interesting to see that McAllister now has found some pace here late in the run. Makes you wonder if maybe he was doing some fuel save early in the stint, and now they've turned him loose a little bit. And just a moment ago, we saw a meaningful pass in the TCR class from a championship perspective. Your points leader, Harry Gottsacker, got around Celso Neto, so that was a change for 4th and 5th. Move Gottsacker up a spot.
Racing, In third place, Ryan Eversley is on the podium at the moment, but barely, as Baker Racing's Bruno Junqueira is all over the back of the Audi. And the two Audis then battling for the last step on that box. Carbon are going to win it. And Ryan Eversley and Celso Neto in the Audi in third, just ahead of a charging Bruno Junqueira at the end.
This is a nice run of form for them. And second podium of the season here today for Neto and Eversley. They were on the podium at the season opener in Daytona, hadn't been on the podium since. So this is one that they can celebrate. Really good execution for LA Precision Racing.
Again, Michelin moment of the race in GS. Jeff Westphal avoiding the accident. And
P3, baby, P3! Uhul! É pódio no Canadá! Bora, Kiko!
E aí?
Tá pequinho.
Eu falei, viu?
Você
eu
falou.
falei, eu cantei a pedra.
Rapaz, você tá fora, hein? Let's go, let's go! Podium!
Put me right, so if someone can run down here, give me a big hug, Celso, bring me some water, I'd appreciate it.
The number 44 of the Beat Farm Motorsport. In 11th position.
Let's go! Let's go! Hey, you get in here! Woohoo!
Thanks for this opportunity.
Great, man, great. Great job. Good job, guys.
That was hot, no?
A little hot, a little hot.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Congrats. Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
We always say this in Brazil.
Let's go, B3.
Audi RS3 number 7, Celso Neto and Ryan Eversley. Tom Sullivan with those trophies right on up there. They're gonna pose for the cameras, looking awesome as they do. The fastest of the bunch right there. Excitement all around. Now they're gonna switch on over to their event hat, the Chevrolet Grand Prix hat. Now, he's fluffy, he's puffy, and he's a really good guy. There he is, the Michelin Man. Got the Michelin hats on, got the trophies up, the cameras are popping, driver's basket in the limelight. There it is. Thank you, Michelin Man. Now, the more noise that the fans make, that more champagne is going to spray. There it